Some people just walk into a room and everyone notices. Not because they're loud, not because they're trying too hard, but because their presence feels powerful. And when people talk about magnetic women, one name always appears. That is Angelina Jolie. But her magnetism was never about just about her beauty. It was her energy, her mystery, her confidence, her intelligence, her pain. So today we are breaking down the psychology behind Angelina Jolie's aura and what actually makes someone unforgettable. So, part 1, she never begged to be seen. One thing about Angelina Jolie, she never looked desperate for attention, and that's rare in a world where everyone is performing constantly. When you watch her interviews, she speaks slowly. She pauses, she thinks before answering. She doesn't over explain herself, she doesn't try to convince people to like her. And psychologically, that creates intrigue. Because people are naturally drawn to what feels emotionally self contained. Most people destroy their aura by oversharing everything, every emotion, every insecurity, every thought. But Angelina mastered restraint. Not coldness, not arrogance, restraint. And restraint creates mystery. Her confidence comes from self acceptance. People assume confidence means thinking you are perfect, but Angelina Jolie becomes magnetic because she accepted every side of herself, the beautiful parts and the darker parts too. She openly talked about pain, loneliness, mental struggles, feeling different, even self destruction during her younger years, and somehow that honestly made her more powerful. Because real confidence isn't pretending to be a flawless woman. It's being fully aware of who you are and still carrying yourself with dignity. That's why insecure people often appear loud, while truly confident people feel calm. She cultivated depth. Another reason Angelina Jolie stands out, it's depth. She didn't build her identity only around beauty. Yes, she was considered one of the most beautiful women in the world, but she also became deeply involved in humanitarian work with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. She traveled to war zones, met refugees, learned about global sufferings, used her influence for something beyond aesthetics. And this is important because the most magnetic people usually have depth behind their appearance. Beauty catches attention, but depth keeps attention. If your entire identity depends on validation, people eventually loses interest. But when someone has intelligence, purpose, curiosity, and emotional depth, their energy becomes unforgettable. She mastered silence. Angelina Jolie understands something most people don't. Silence is powerful. Notice how she never constantly tries to prove herself online. She disappears, protects her privacy, speaks when she actually has something meaningful to say. And in today's world, that's rare. People are addicted to visibility. They panic when they are unnoticed, but mystery grows in absence. That's why overexposure destroys your aura. The more accessible someone becomes, the less fascinating they often appear. Angelina Jolie maintained fascination because she kept parts of herself unreachable. Her femininity was never weak. There's also something else people notice about Angelina Jolie. Her femininity never felt fragile. It felt dangerous, calm, controlled. She had softness without seeming weak, and that balance is incredibly powerful. A lot of women are taught they must either be extremely soft and agreeable or cold and emotionally unavailable. But Angelina Jolie energy existed in the middle, warm but selective. elegant but intimidating, emotional but composed, and that contrast created her aura. So, no, Angelina Jolie's magnetism was never about her looks. It was her restraint, her depth, her confidence, her intelligence, her mystery, and the way she carried pain without letting it destroy her presence. And honestly, that kind of aura cannot be copied with makeup, fashion, or trends. Because real magnetism starts intentionally when you stop begging for validation, when you develop depth, when you become emotionally grounded. People can feel your presence before you even speak. Become someone people remember, not because you demanded attention, but because your energy was impossible to ignore. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked the video and subscribe for more such videos.